I'm Monica from the Prepared Homestead, and I'm here in the kitchen, and today I'm going to do a very simple video on how to make a nourishing herbal infusion. Now, the difference between a regular infusion, which you put some herbs in, add some hot water, cover it, let it steep for 10 to 15 minutes, and a nourishing herbal infusion is the length of time that the herbs sit in the water. That allows them to fully draw out all of the nutrients, the vitamins, and the minerals that are in the herb. Okay, this is something that you can take every day. Today I'm making a nettle herbal infusion, a nourishing infusion, but there's lots of different herbs that you can use. I like nettle because it helps to regulate blood sugar, so it's actually helpful for people who deal with hypo or hyperglycemia, which I tend to have a problem with. And then the other thing is it helps to normalize your metabolic rate, so you can it helps you lose weight. And then the other thing is for nursing moms, that if you drink this for a couple of weeks, it will actually not only increase the amount of milk, but the quality of the milk. In nettle, you'll find high levels of zinc, calcium, magnesium, and even iron. And then on top of that, you have good amounts of vitamin A and C, selenium, thiamine, things like that. So nettle is one of those things that you can drink on a very regular basis, and over time you'll receive the benefits even more. Okay, one last note about nettle is that it is a diuretic, and it does tend to make you cold, and I can witness to this. After a few days of drinking my nettle infusion, I started getting really, really, really cold, especially in my extremities. So you can always add a couple of slices of ginger if that tends to be your problem. And if you tend to be dry skin, dry nails, dry hair, you can add a pinch of marshmallow, and that has a moistening, it's called a demulcent, but a moistening characteristic that can help to decrease the dryness that you would experience from using nettle. Now, yes, we normally do not start out with water in our jar, but I'm heating it up. My jar was very, very cold, so I didn't want a cracked jar. Several ways that you can keep jars from cracking, if you've done any canning, is to heat it up beforehand. You can do it in a dishwasher, you can put warm water in it. Also, use something to keep it off of a cold surface, whether it's a pot holder or a towel, anything to keep it off of a cold surface so you're not putting a boiling hot water with the cold surface and causing cracking. Some people also will put a knife in the jar when they're pouring in the hot water, and you can do that too, but I've heated up my jar. So I'm gonna dump my water out and then set it on my scale. One of the easiest ways I've found of measuring this out is doing it directly into the jar. You just have to be aware of what you're doing. So I just use my little ladle and pour it in, and I'm going to put 1 ounce of the herb. Okay, there's my ounce, and then I'm going to use just a pinch of marshmallow to take away some of that dryness. And then, like I said, this is super simple. I'm going to take my boiling water, pour it in my jar to the top, and I'll stir it a little. Usually I have a knife sitting here, I just forgot. Okay, and then you want to cover it. I'm going to take the jar lid off of this one, because I'll be using that one in a minute. Now, the minimum for an herb when you're using a leaf is 4 to 8 hours. 4 hours is your minimum, and you can keep it longer than that. Normally, I'll make mine in the evening, let it sit for a few hours, and then put mine in the refrigerator and strain it in the morning and drink it, because I like to drink it cold. But if you do like it warm or room temperature, after 4 hours you can drink it. Okay, so we're using quart-sized jars, and that's how you can know that you're using the proper amount of water with your ounce of herb. My jar just sealed. How I strain it, there's lots of ways to strain it. I do it through a net milk bag because it's easier to squeeze and get every last little bit out of there. So I'm going to start pouring. Some people use sieves and, you know, kind of like metal type things. What I found though is when you press on them, it ends up loosening that seam and they get broken very quickly and easily. So I've just found that using the nut milk bag not only gets everything out of the herb, but it doesn't break my equipment. And the great thing about this is that all of these leftover herbs that I have in here, we actually give to our chickens. It gives them a nice green and they love it. The other thing is when you're making this, you need to make sure that you are using it within 36 hours, drinking it within 36 hours. And what I end up doing, if for some reason we haven't, is drunk a word? Drunk it in 36 hours, is use it as a hair rinse. It's wonderful for your hair. So it doesn't ever have to go to waste. And then if you still don't use it, you can always use it on plants or throw it into some feed or something for your chickens. There's always a use for it. Okay. All right. And there it is. And you can see that the herb is really, really dry. And I'll just throw this in the chicken bucket to go out to the chickens tonight. So that's how you make a nourishing herbal infusion. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching.